Fallout 2 came out years before the formation of Wikileaks occurred, and a full decade before when, in 2008, one of Wikileaks' earliest document releases was regarding internal documentation from the Church of Scientology. Let's bring up the glossary of words published on the Wikileaks site. Here we see the term, raw meat. Raw meat. This is the same thing that Harry the rocket scientist just called me on the surface.
Hey, raw meat. Who are you? What are you doing here?
Its definition is, someone who just joined Scientology, or is thinking about joining Scientology. So we are starting to see some direct correlations here between the video game and real life. And having a bit of fun, but let's just keep going to see if we can find some more. Wow. It seems I am no match for this person. Though I was simply doing what the Hubologist told me. Better find another way. Poison. At least someone is happy with what I done.
So have you removed this badger?
Yes. He's gone.
His people will embrace the hub. All will be well. You have done a great service.
Thanks. I have more questions.
Perhaps I can ease your troubled soul. What do you need?
When does the ship take off?
When AHS-9 receives a vision from the hub, we will leave, and join him in celestial glory.
Most informative. Bye. Let's see what the benefits of being in the club are.
Greetings, fellow traveler.
Well, I'm not exactly traveling, but I guess I can dig it. Let's see if these people can tell me anything important now.
Greetings, I hope your enlightenment is going well.
We have such large hopes for you.
So what do I do now that I am a Hubologist?
You could talk to Harry Rocket on the surface. Maybe he needs some help.
Or you could talk to AHS 7 or 9. They usually have good ideas.
Or watch the prayer screen.
Or you could cause mischief among the enemies of the wheel.
Thanks, that's all I wanted to know. Let's go see who the boss is, and find out what this is about.
You are in the presence of SSS9, the great and terrible, who is it you desire of him?
I'm looking for my people. I heard they came down this way in flying ships.
Flying ships, you must be talking about the enslave.
Yeah, okay.
Trust me, Michild, you are talking about the enslave.
How do I find them?
The enslave are a remnant of the past, a neurodin that has yet to be aligned. They have hidden bases all over the shores of old California, and their strongest stronghold is off to the west, over the waters.
How do I get there?
That Michild, you will have to discover on your own. Ascaro untant you shall find the truth.
Whatever.
I am in need of help, child. Can you help me?
Who are you?
I am Harry, the star brother in charge of the rocket ship. We are going to use it to travel to Quetzal.
Can I ask you something else? What are you doing?
What I'm doing is preparing the ship for the grand trip to the Starfather. We're very close right now.
What can I do for you?
We need the vertebrate plans to make sure our aerodynamics are right. If you can do this, check with the She or go up to that old base in Navarro.
Okay, I'll do it.
Perhaps I can ease your troubled soul. What do you need?
Where can I find the meaning of the terms you use?
Simply use the holodisk Juan and Vikki provided you and check out the glossary.
Thanks.
Downloading data from disk. Hubologist teachings. Welcome. Welcome to the Hubology holodisk. Within these electronic pages, you'll find a quick description of our beliefs, including the formerly repressed teachings of the Hub. This holodisk isn't meant to represent the final word on Hubology. Think of it as a primer and us as your spiritual guardians. We were founded back before the Great Deluge by an author and visionary of great promise. A man by the name of Dick Hubble. He saw the failure of the medicine of that time and of the failure of religion, and of the failure of government. He knew that the world needed Hubology. Inspired by the music of the time and his own personal experience with extraterrestrial beings, he set out to show us wheels in the sky, to keep them burning, and to understand the great wheel of life. We call him the Hub, for it is through him that we understand our place in the wheel. He is our center, and we are his spokes. It is around his teachings that we revolve. With the publication of countless books and journals, the Hub began spreading the word of Hubology and immediately became a target for his detractors. They called his work pseudoscience and dangerous dribble that can only hurt its adherents. Despite the collected sightings of extraterrestrial vehicles across the globe, they insisted on quashing the Hub's word. We know that they were simply stupid and misguided, but they were powerful. They included governments and corporations and other such entities, keeping the greatest news of all time from the people of the earth. Hubology was driven underground for a time, marshalling its forces against the attacks of those who envied its simplicity and ease of use for the common man. When at last the Hubologist of the time struck back, they did it in such a way that few could stand against them. They infiltrated the organizations that sought to destroy them and created "television shows" that sought to expose the lies the government had fed the people. This caused a subtle backlash against our religion. The common man found reason to doubt Hubology because of the distorted teachings of the media, and we had to wage a long campaign against those who would call us crackpots. During this time, sadly, the great Hub passed away. Bolstered by the knowledge the Hub had achieved unity with the Star Father, helping to turn the cosmic wheel in our direction, attaining another level of consciousness, we remained confident in ourselves that ours was the true way. Along the way we gained adherents, many of whom simply wanted to believe that there was a place out there that is better than this world. We offer proof of life on other planets, and a philosophy that allows us to understand the way of the universe. People have come to us over the age, impressed by the rightness of our minds. And the fact that we have survived the Great Deluge unscathed teaches us that the Great Wheel turns toward our teachings.
After conducting a bit of research, we discover the founder of Scientology is L. Ron Hubbard. Clearly Fallout has assigned an arbitrary first name Dick, which can also be derogatory, while spinning off his last name, Hubbard, into Hubble. Adding to the last name the suffix "ology," meaning the field of study which is a part of the word Scientology, we get Hubology. Upon further examination of L. Ron Hubbard's biography, we find more parallels from the biography of the fictional Hub in the video game. The game it states the Hub published countless books and journals, so too the real-life Hub is a well-established science fiction writer. He is described as being prolific, holding the record for the largest collection of published works to date. His book from 1950, Dianetics, is described as being a branch of self-help psychology and forms the foundation of Scientology. Hubbard lost the rights to the title in 1952 and repackaged the work under the title, Scientology. Hubbard launched the first Scientology church as a corporation shortly after, and in 1966 he established the Guardian's Office, an intelligence compartment of the organization. He believed that Scientology was being attacked by an international Nazi conspiracy, through a network of drug companies, banks, and psychiatrists in a bid to take over the world. In the 1970s, Hubbard was driven underground. This is the reference made in the game. Governments began scrutinizing his organization and preventing his fleet entry. Mainly, Hubbard believed that his organization should be tax-exempt since he claimed it was a religion. He therefore evaded taxation. This is known as the war within the Church of Scientology. The resurgence came in 1973, when he instituted the Snow White program. Operation Snow White is still the largest infiltration of government agencies in the history of the United States. This is what the game is referring to as striking back. Under this program, Scientology operative committed infiltration, wiretapping and theft of documents in government offices, most notably those of the U.S. Internal Revenue Service, the FBI, and even Interpol. Their intention called for the removal and correction of erroneous Scientology files that essentially discredited the organization or its members, most notably their founder Hubbard. A mainstay of Hubbard intentions was to decentralize his control of the organization by establishing infrastructure which created an autonomous compartmentalized operation that would continue into the future. Thus in 1979, when Hubbard completely cut contact aside from messengers and went into hiding, the church survived without him, and according to insiders a coup d'etat occurred, transferring de facto power leadership to David Miscavige. In obscurity, Hubbard died in 1986. Hubbard became increasingly deified after his death, and is the model operating Thetan to Scientologist, but not God. Hubbard then is the source, inviting others to follow his path. Thus we see in Fallout nearly the same meanings when they call the hub their center, and it is through him and around his teachings they revolve. In real life, Scientology doctrine defines operating Thetan or OT as the highest state there is. It is described as a state of godliness, where one is able to control or operate thought, life, matter, energy, space or time. Hubbard claimed that a fully developed OT would be considered beyond God. OT is the state above clear. The term is derived from the Greek letter, theta, which in Scientology beliefs represents the source of life or life itself. The theta is essentially the spiritual soul of a person. A central piece of Scientology doctrine is that a Thetan exists with or without a body. Death then is when a Thetan abandons the body. It follows that a Thetan posthumously goes to a landing station on planet Venus. Thus in Fallout, we see that the Hubologist were bolstered by the knowledge that the Hub had achieved unity with the Starfather, attaining another level of consciousness. And the Hubologist constructed a spaceship to go and meet him on planet Quetzal.